Esteemed audience, debate is not debate if it's not on Kenya's #1 debate platform. This is season 9 of the Great Debaters Contest, Western Region, Kakamega County. I am your host, Chris Boru.
And I am Esperanza Kapanga. In today's debate, the motion being discussed is affirmative action has destroyed the family institution.
In the proposition, we have the gentleman and lady from Bumala High School.
And in the opposition, we have Moi Girls Vokoli School. Proposer number 1, you have 3 minutes to make your statements.
Ladies and gentlemen all around in the room, I greet you all. I'm Mariam Kiza from Bumala High School. Today with a motion that says affirmative actions have destroyed the family institutions. What do we understand by the term affirmative actions? Affirmative actions, these are policies that are implemented and used by the government and these institutions like colleges and universities to help the minority group like the race, like the albinos, and a particular genders that are discriminated from a particular group. And these affirmative actions were first discovered by a USA President John Kennedy, which was later encouraged by Martin Luther as adapted from the English Book 3. First of all, these affirmative actions, they have destroyed the family institutions because they have interfered with the cultural activities. Like some cultures do say that a girl child should not inherit his parents' properties. But when these policies were implemented that a girl child and a boy child are all equal and they should also share the family properties. This brought about where there were rivals between the children as the girls wanted to get married and they go to marry and even they want to take back their family properties. Whereby you can find a family with six boys and 1 girl, and the number of properties to be shared is limited. So we see that this girl should just go and marry and take the properties that are there where he's going to marry and leave these properties to her brothers or the boy's siblings behind her. Secondly, these affirmative actions have brought about favoritism in the family, whereby my mom owns 1 million shillings per month and my dad owns 20,000 shillings per month. You see, there will be competition between us, their children. I will love my mom so much because if I tell my mom, can you assist me with only 5,000 for my personal use? He can't see that as money. She sees that as like 5 shillings to a normal person. But when these affirmative actions were brought, they brought about equality, whereby the children will only love the parent, mostly will love the parent who has high amount of money. Thirdly, these affirmative actions, when they were brought, they were laziness among the students, whereby, for example, they say for a girl child to go to a university, he must attain a B+, and for a boy child to go to a university, he must attain an A-. The girl child will not read a lot or will not work hard to get that B+ because Thank you.
First proposer, you have 3 minutes to make your submissions.
I would like to this point goes to the proposer that competition is healthy. Think about that. I will provide the synonym of affirmative action as positive discrimination. I'll start by defining the motion and expounding on it. Affirmative action means a deliberate move to referring and eliminating past and present discrimination using a set of public policies in the family. For example, the two-thirds gender rule passed across by the parliament, not forgetting in the Constitution, chapter number 4, Bill of Rights, Article 45, Clause 3, which clearly states that parties to a marriage are entitled to equal rights at the time of marriage, during the marriage, and at the dissolution of a marriage. My first point, affirmative action offers protection from hatred. While nothing can completely shield an individual from all the hatred that they would encounter in their marriage, affirmative action can greatly help where it enforces strict punishments on any person who is found guilty in the family. Let's look at the bigger picture. For example, in a family where one of the party has a child out of wedlock, there will be issues arising from that marriage. For instance, we have heard of situations where fathers defile their children who are both out of wedlock. Do you think this is acceptable? No, but with affirmative action, strict punishments are put in place to deal with situations like this. To my second point, it enhances moral commitment. This simply refers to the willingness to give equal consideration to the rights, interests, and choices of all parties to the situation in question, which is the family. Let's take an example of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Kim Kardashian lives in California. At a point, Kim and Kanye had a disagreement between Kanye West wanted Kim to relocate to Chicago. Affirmative action came in place whereby Kim Kardashian and Kanye West sat together as a family and decided to stay in California. My third point, it enhances parental responsibilities. Through affirmative action in nuclear family, both parents have a shared chance to take care of the family, especially the children. Since it is a stereotype that women are the only people who can take care of the family in a better way. Thank you. Khadija Mohammed was here. Thank you.
Second proposer, you have 3 minutes for a rebuttal.
Greetings to all of the room. I'm Cornelius Ocheng, Bumala High School. Affirmative action has destroyed the family institution. First and foremost, I want to convince my fellow colleague about what he has said about affirmative action, saying that the affirmative action has not destroyed the family institution, telling about the rivals in the family and other many things. For sure, affirmative action in terms of family affairs. Family affairs, just a confusion of family members. How many families have been confused because of affirmative action? And how many families have still stand firm, regardless of affirmative action? That's a question. You answer yourself. The second point, he talks of moral commitment. Moral commitment is individual who has he or herself take time to involve in that moral commitment, because you yourself, because you don't earn, you don't have money, you take yourself to commit yourself in moral acts. Parental responsibilities. Parental irresponsibility, they don't come because of affirmative action. Because how many parents are living with their children very, very well, educating them, giving them all basic needs. To my point, affirmative action has destroyed the family institution. My first point, let me highlight, that's corruption, divorce, erosion of culture, and unfair distribution of resources. For example, corruption. My fellow colleagues, I know you'll agree with me this. In corruption, according to the country, those who are having and those who are not having, they are being given jobs. Those people who are rich, they bribe because they have money. And those who have got no money, at what time are they going to bribe so that they can get those jobs? We have many people who are not having jobs, many teachers who are not employed, many nurses who are just stomaching on the roads because they don't have something to pay as a bribe. The second point is divorce. Many families have broken because of affirmative action. This because when a lady is earning higher than a husband, it becomes so pride, so rude in the house, so big-headed, and this caused the family to have rivals all the time. That now that a man, you don't have money, what are you going to tell the lady? This caused divorce. And due to this divorce, children are the ones who are suffering under that divorce. Unfair distribution of resources, for example, public services as education. We find that affirmative action has given a boy child a priority to go to school, but not a girl.
Second opposer, you have 3 minutes for a rebuttal.
Thank you. I greet you all. Joy Kenda, Moi Girls Vokoli. I would like to say this or to put this across. Education, the government is basing its education on the girl child. We've seen that the government is trying so hard to promote the girl child education. So what are you telling us, that the government wants the boy child to study instead of the girl child? The government is trying to make the girl child equal to the boy child. That's why it has put in place enough policies so that the girl child can go to school. And you've also said something about divorce, women becoming big-headed. When let's take, for example, in a family whereby a woman is earning better than a man, isn't it? You have said that the woman will be big-headed, but this is what I'm here to tell you, that when this woman is earning better than her husband, she knows she needs to provide for the children. She knows that her children need a family. That's why she will try as much as she could or she can in order to keep the family together. And that's why affirmative action cannot lead to divorce. And there is also this issue about, you've said, competition. And if you're a business student like me, you will learn that competition helps a business to grow. It's in the same way that competition can help a family to grow, whereby if inheritance is given both to the boy child and to the girl child, the girl child will strive so much in order to better her family. And the boy child will also want to better their family. So won't this cause their family to grow? And to my first point, affirmative action can lead to greater opportunity, can provide greater opportunities, whereby children in minority families, they are subjected to violence, poverty, and other acts like assault. But with affirmative action, we see that the Constitution protects this child. This child can be able to get education. This child can be protected against things like violence. This child can be able to make the family grow. So affirmative action is really strengthening the family institution. And you've also said about culture. Affirmative action has strengthened culture, whereby we see that affirmative action has provided equal opportunities for decision making, both for the male and the female. Whereby a man can come into a family, he gives his own opinions. A woman can also come and give her own opinions. Whereby when both of them give their own opinions, they get to one conclusion, and this conclusion will better the family. Thank you.
The proposers have been asked, if affirmative action has led to the destruction of family institutions, then what solutions are they providing to correct this wrong? The opposers, on the other hand, have been asked, they did say that competition is good in a family, but what happens if the same competition leads a man to extreme actions in order to reclaim his superiority in a family if the woman is financially ahead? Proposer number 3, you have 3 minutes to respond.
Juma Anthony from Bumala, and I come again up to support the motion that affirmative action has actually destroyed our family institution. Now, according to the question that you've asked, on what solution should you take? You people should change your attitude toward that action, because as you can see, we copied it. It didn't start in Kenya or in Africa. We just copied it it started in North America to help those who are being segregated because of races. It was to help the black Americans. So when we can see it not helping the oppressed, it is just helping the oppressors instead of the oppressed. Because as you can see, the estimation shows that American women even earn more than African men. A black African man just earns zero. Yeah. When we estimate very well, according to the earning, when an American white woman earns 0.78, an African earns 0.71, and a Latino earns 0.10. Now, according to my points, I would like to tell you that it leads to choose of unskilled. We will just leave those skilled people just because we want to balance the gender. We can just choose that because we want to balance, we want to have both male and female. We just take a girl or we just take a boy who had no skill in such thing. According to culture, it leads to a road of our culture, whereby you can see that in Africa, there are some culture that this action is actually opposing. The action is opposing our cultures, whereby it comes into family matters, it's changing some of them, and according to us, we don't have to follow it. Another thing is that it leads to divorce, whereby if a woman is earning in the family more than a man, he will not take his responsibilities. He will say that I'm just equal to you. So you can also take my duties, you can do them. But according to our African culture, there are duties for women and duties for men. So that may lead to rivals in the family, and it can lead to divorce. Then, there is something which we say, women will value money more than their marriages. They will value money. Another thing, it may lead to jealousy. Jealousy comes whereby when the men will be depressed, they will feel very downhearted, and they will see as if they are being stepped on by women. Thank you.
Third opposer, you have 3 minutes to respond to your question.
Greetings. Thank you. Jasmine Mumba from Y Girls Vokoli to oppose the motion, affirmative action has destroyed family institutions. First, to answer the question, is competition safe for the family? Yes, since it's healthy. Not all men will resort to vices, as he put it. Some, it will give them the urge to look for better jobs and provide for the family better. On to my first point. Affirmative actions provides an equal platform for education, whereby all people, all races, all genders are given a chance to have some education. Like, for instance, Goldalin, who led in the KCPE, she was an albino, but then since she was able to get education, she was able to lead in the KCPE and also shine bright. Parental responsibility. This enables the parents who will both be earning to provide better for the children so they can cater for them. The children do not lack anything, thus reducing the number of street children, the number of orphans, and the neglected people. It also not only provides greater opportunities for the people, all the genders and races. For example, Lupita Nyong'o, who won the Oscar Awards. If she were to be discriminated, as it's put across that women are the minority, she would not have been able to pursue her career and her talents to be exposed, as she was able to lead to get the Oscar Awards. It also reduces domestic violence, since respect will become a two-way traffic. Both spouses will be working, so both of us have a say in the family. No one is belittled in the family. We both earn, so we both share equal responsibilities, thus reducing domestic violence, which normally leads to divorces, and most people are given an equal opportunity. And also, the previous speaker said that affirmative action, we copied it from the United States. My question is, should we not accept change just because it did not originate from us? I suggest and I feel that we should, because it will help better us. Should we not accept change if it is a positive, if it is our plus on our side, if it helps us move to the next stage, if it helps us build our nation? Because if affirmative action is put in place, the family will be strengthened. All the people, not considering their genders or their space or whether the disabilities, they'll be able to have an equal role. Both of them will be working. All of them will be educated. All of them will be knowledgeable. All of them will have an experience and a say in whatever they have to do. So instead, it has strengthened the family institution. Thank you.
Proposers, you have 1 minute to make a final submission.
Thank you. Back again to give the fact. I have the money. Another one don't have the money. We are going to apply for the job. I'll bribe, I'll get the money. Who will get the job? The one with the money. Is not that affirmative action. The second, the lady earns more than the husband. Now, ladies, if you earn more, you are so proud. You can't even stay at home. How are children going to suffer in the home? Is that not affirmative action? The last point, I am coming from a very poor background. Somebody is coming from a very wealthy background, who is going to have good education system or go in a very efficient school. Is that not affirmative action? My last conclusion is that for sure affirmative action has destroyed the family institution. Thank you.
Opposers, you have 1 minute to make a final submission.
Jasmine Momba once again. I have a butterfly in my hand, and I ask you, is it dead or alive? When you say it's dead, I might not praise it. But when you say it's alive, I might praise it and it dies. So it all depends on us. Affirmative action does not necessarily mean that maybe the majority will underrate the minority. It simply implies that both will be given equal chances in the society. So ladies and gentlemen, in a nutshell, it has actually strengthened family institutions since there is equality, there is no discrimination, there is no underration. Both people are given a say. Everyone is given a chance to be heard. Everyone has a chance to speak out their mind. Everyone has the chance to explore their potential. You can be leaders, politicians, astronauts, teachers, truth seekers. You can shine with the brightest flame because you have it in you. You have been given the chance to actually explore your talents and unleash the inner potential in you.
Bumala, let me commend you for the conviction that we saw as you made your debate. It was very clear that you are passionate about this topic. However, there was a little bit of research to be done. And I hope and wish that you take note of that for future. Then let me commend Cornelius. You made a good attempt at rebuttal. However, there was a broad spectrum of affirmative action that we could speak on. But we narrowed it on, the woman earning more. And every other person who stood up in your team talked about that. And I'm sure you'll agree with me that it's not just about the woman earning more. Then the point on divorce that you brought up, you didn't clearly tell us how affirmative action brings divorce. It was not very clear. And I think you also it was evident that it was language impediment. Maybe we may need to work on that also, because you could tell you had a lot to say. You were stammering here and there, and time was running, and each of you had poor time management. I guess it calls for us to work on that. However, let me also commend you on your stand. Your stand was very definite. Nobody could question it. We know what you mean and you meant what you said. That was good.
Mohammed, that is very good. Very passionate. You had the mastery of the content that was required for this particular topic. You went as far as telling us that there is Kim and Kanye. By the way, I went to find out who are those. I have discovered, I didn't read much, but I've discovered that there is Kim and Kanye of California. So I said, you must have done your research. Congratulations. Joy Kenda, you have a good way of doing things. However, you came with some stage fright, killing the very passion that was started by Mohammed Adicha. But I want to say something strong about you. You had the point and understanding of the motion. And I want also to congratulate you. We also look at Mumba. It's good that you discovered that you people were moving out of the joint in terms of the male and the female discussion that was at hand. And to bring us the fact that Affirmative is about bringing them to an equal platform. That was very good. And your analogy at the end of it all summed everything. I want to say that this was a good debate. Let's wait for the result.
To the moment of truth. Bumala High School. The judges awarded you 63.3%. Let's give them a round of applause. Moi Girls Vokoli High School. The judges awarded you 67.2%, making you the winners of this debate. Congratulations to both schools for a job well done.
Thank you so much for staying tuned to watch the Great Debaters contest. Remember, the debate does not end here because the conversation still continues across our social media platforms with the hashtag GDC for SDGs. Until the next episode, I've been your host, Chris Boru.
And I am Esperanza Kapanga. See you next time.